Mm-mm-mm. Good morning. Why is my son down there sounding like a crazy person? Good morning, guys. I think I'm going to switch over to the laptop real quick just because I want to charge up this phone. I have a couple of videos that I want to record. All right. Let's see here. I don't want to close out that window. So I'm going to move over to the laptop. And I wanted to talk about Trump's DEI stuff. And last night, I kind of got into how I am strongly suggesting people to start taking things more seriously. um, it's never too late to start taking your life seriously. I don't know where this spirit is coming from to where you reach the age 40, you're just supposed to give up on life and just start acting a fool. I wasn't raised that way. That is not a part of my values and morals. Good morning, Stefan. Hello. And so let me switch over to the laptop. Give me a second. I'm going to mute this so that it's not making that annoying noise. All right, hold on. Okay. All right, so I should be good now. Okay. All righty. Triple darkness is here today. Interesting. Good morning, triple darkness. I've always wondered, what does that mean? Does that mean that is that like is your skin complexion triple dark, or are you in some kind of void or something? Explain that to me this morning, okay? All right. So basically, if you don't know what that means, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give my opinion about it and my suggestion and some spiritual advice that needs to be heard. Basically, a DEI program is where companies are required to hire a certain quota of quote unquote colored people. Now, colored doesn't just include Black, but of course, we do know that Blacks do tend to get discriminated against in y'all reality. Because in my reality, if I want a job, I'm gonna get one. Okay, if I, I've been ended up being the CEO. Okay, because that's hey, because I'm High Priestess Jamila. But in y'all mind, that's the way that it is, and a lot of people don't want to hear what I gotta say about the situation because they like, Jamila, you in La La Land, you in fairyland, and it's like, and you know what? I'm gonna stay there. Okay. So, but colored is not just Black. Colored can be any other race than white. Now, is it discriminatory to whites? Possibly. However, we have to think about why that was put into place in the first place, which, I haven't researched it because, again, for years and years and years, a lot of this political stuff has not affected me per se. Back when I was in the workforce, I would go and apply for a job and I would get it. Okay. And I just, that's just what I was used to. And I had pretty decent jobs. I mean, I didn't have like high powered jobs or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? It just was the way that it was. Okay. And so, but technically these companies, and I'm going to pull up a list of companies that have already withdrew. I think they mentioned Walmart. Okay. DEI. Okay. So, those laws or whatever was created so to stop the discrimination of colored people from being hired to begin with. So I think that colored people need to think about what is going on and why that is happening. And I think that, because I'm going to be honest with y'all, what I've been sensing, because I can pick up on a lot of like, and a lot of Black people, I can tell you that they are hurt by that. Let's just put in, for lack of better words, they're hurting because of that. They feel somewhat afraid. There's a fear factor because of that now, because these companies no longer have to fulfill some kind of quota. Now it's going to be based upon merit, which I'm pretty sure. And this is going to be Amazon, is some of the bigger companies, Meta, McDonald's. I don't eat at McDonald's anyway. Walmart, Molson Coors. I don't even know what is that. Ford Motor Company, John Deere, Lowe's, Harley Davidson, Brown Foreman, Tractor Supply Company, Toyota Motor Corporation. And I think that that's it on this particular list so far. So I'm not saying that I'm against what Trump did. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm for it. I think that at this point in the game, what is becoming obvious to me is, and a lot of Black people probably will disagree with me, but I feel that it's time to kind of move past the whole thing. I don't know much about that policy when it was created. I do know that and recognize that I have seen a lot of racism rearing its ugly head. It's ugly. Oh my God. And then I've also seen Black people participating in it. It's really, really bad. It's really time for Black people in particular, but not just Blacks, whites. Because I'm going to tell you something. We go through the same thing as far as spiritually. The only difference is that, with that DEI thing, you know what I'm saying? That and it doesn't necessarily say that. Do I see it as being discrimination? Not necessarily. I think that it was a way to make things fair, since Black people were already going through so much discrimination and still are. So I think more than likely what's going to end up happening is that something is going to be put into place. So I feel like, here's what I want to say, and people hate when I say this, but at this point in our history, the only thing I can say to, or that I would say to anybody, like if you were a close friend of mine that was talking to me about it and you were concerned, or you would or if you were outraged or stressed out about it, I would say everything is going to be okay. Now, do I feel that those types of programs created some kind of sense of entitlement with some Black people? Yeah, I do. But do I feel like it made Black people entitled? No, I feel like it was put into place during a time where there may have been a lot of discrimination. So, and it is, and there's still problems, and mainly from coming from a Black person's, a person that, and again, guys, I am not like full-blooded African. Like, I have other stuff mixed into me. I've shown pictures of my grandfathers. But as a Black person, from the way I'm looking at it, is that there are certain things that I suffer from as a Black person that I basically have to suffer in silence, because the issues that I have are very marginalized. Okay. They're not addressed properly, which is, as a Black person, I'm just going to come out and say it in layman's terms. I am tired of having to deal with the ignorance. I'm tired of it. I'm tired as a Black person that has intelligence. I am tired of dealing with the ignorance. I am sick and tired of being expected to be treated a certain way, or to act a certain way, or to be judged a certain way, especially when it comes to social media. Social media is something that is very important for my company, Divine Services Apothecary. And people treat you opposite to who you really are. And it sucks, because nobody listened to me when I said, hey, I'm being sexually abused. Nobody listened to me when I said, hey, I'm being abused. I'm being spiritually attacked. And so it's something that I go and I talk to my gods and my spirits about. And I feel that that is where people need to start going with this, is what I am getting to. And to not have, like, anybody, not just Blacks, but everybody, to not have a defeatist attitude about things that you may deem as being unfair or that may affect you. Do you honestly feel that as a Black person that you're not going to be able to survive because of what Trump did? If you do, you need to quit being weak. Then also the next question, are you going to turn to ruthlessness and start, quote unquote, doing what you got to do to get what you want in life? Can you uphold some kind of standard and integrity, is the question. Because all I've seen is, throughout the years of dealing with this diversity and things that have been happening, is that a lot of Black people, they settle on attacking each other and acting like complete douchebags and bums fighting over a moldy piece of cheese. And I'm sorry, but I put myself above that I don't have to do that I'm intelligent enough and powerful enough to where I can go out into this world and get what I want. And what Black people are doing to one another needs to be addressed. And I feel as though that is the message from Spirit. The smear campaigns, the lies, the attacks, the abuse. Y'all need to internalize and look at yourselves and what you're doing. I didn't want any of that stuff, Willie Wise. Bye. Hold on, let me block this troll. Go back to your reality. You don't belong here, hon. Goodbye. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't live in that reality that y'all live in. I'm sorry. I don't live in a reality where a person is being shamed because they didn't want their stuff that's in storage. I don't live in that reality. The only thing of value that was in that storage was my cauldron, and I replaced her because she needed to be replaced anyway. That other one was kind of rusted on the inside. Otherwise, I'm not worried about that stuff. Why are you? There's plenty of people in this world. If you've ever had a storage or known about storage, I'm not going to pay to move all that stuff back home. So then why would I go and why would I keep it if I decided to go back home? That's ridiculous. See your mentality? Willie Wise. I don't think you're very wise, hon. I'm not going to pay a mover to move a bunch of stuff when that I plan to replace, that I've already replaced, hon. Okay. And I wouldn't be the first red-blooded American that has done that. I wouldn't be the first that said, you know what? I don't want any of that stuff. Go ahead and let them sell it. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the only way they can contact us, Stevon, because, we live in our utopia and they're in dystopia. So they like to come over here and be redundant over and over again. I don't like, nor do I respect Black people that behave that way. I don't. I mean, I can have lukewarm feelings and be understandable. That's just like when it comes to triple darkness. I got a little soft place in my heart for triple darkness. Would I ever take a person like that seriously? No, I wouldn't. I mean, maybe, but to lack the ability to even have an intelligent conversation. And I personally feel that Trump is also getting ready to, and it's probably already out there, that he's getting ready to start cutting food stamps and things of that nature. And I mean, what are those people going to do? Are they going to take up, selling crack cocaine or something? I mean, I don't care, about those people because they need to stay where they're at. Okay. So I'm sorry. People that are not striving to better themselves, I don't want that kind of company. You know what I mean? And people like that are doing the most complaining, but they ain't applied for a job in 10 years. They'll complain, but it's like, well, you're unemployed anyway. But anyway, getting back to the subject, which is what I was talking about. Black people need to stop. And it's just like it irritates me because a lot of the more so slave-minded blacks, and I think that the way that a lot of us become connected with people that we would never become connected to is with this social networking thing, the social media. But it's the same thing, only it's not physical slavery. We never talk about, from back during slavery times and throughout the years, we never talk about black on black crime. We never talk about the fact that even during those times, there were free blacks. Every black person in America was not a slave. Why did they just whitewash that? Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about, and it's probably because coloreds were, again, considered, even if you were a free black in America back then, you still were considered to be lower caste, but you were still not a slave. But slaves would attack the free blacks on a regular basis. Like, it was very violent and repulsive. Nowadays, what we're seeing manifest within being a black person or a person of color is the ignorance, the extreme ignorance and mind control of slave-minded blacks having anger towards blacks that are not only free, but then not being discriminated against per se. Because, I see it, but I just, I don't let it affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Honestly, when you stop caring about things like that and you start to connect with your power and you find your north, then the blood pressure goes down automatically and you're not in a rage. What people should be in a rage about is what's happening internally. And there's a lot of internalized racism, colorism, abuse, and just disgusting things that are happening within the black community, within how we relate to each other, how we speak to each other. It's disgusting, and I want no parts of it. Okay? I don't want any parts of it. Just like I don't want to be a part of something to where there's a racist white person that's saying something about black people. I don't want to argue with a racist white person. For what? What do I need to argue with them about? Do I need their permission to do something? No. So what? So why would I continuously put myself in an environment that is very stressful? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost like self-mutilation or something. Or it's almost like, how do I put this? It's like self-harm. It's like self-inflicted wounding yourself. Like, oh, I'm going to hang around a group of people where there's some white people that hang out and they call black people the N-word and talk down and denigrate blacks. Like, oh, well, I'll go ahead and close that out. Like, no. And you know what I'm saying? So the subject that I wanted to get on, though, is reality shifting. And the first thing that I was going to talk to you guys about today, because when I get off of here, I'm going to go ahead and sorry, guys. Their energy is very disturbing to me. I don't like the energy from that black sector, and I will claw you if I have to today. Just FYI, I don't want nothing to do with y'all black sector. You will get clawed and balled and banished today. I don't want to deal with it. Be easy, man. For real. Like, y'all need, a lot of y'all in that black sector qualify to be committed into a mental institution. So I can sense your negativity, and I'm just not on that wavelength. In fact, I'm getting ready to do my coronation for my crystal ball, and I'm just not focused on that, and then, religion and no, I have my own mind. I have my own body. I have my own spirit. So I don't want nothing to do with whatever y'all doing. Okay. I don't. Okay. And if you don't want to get spiritually attacked, don't come in my chat room talking crazy. For real. Because I'm already dealing with the fact that a group of black people decided to hate on me and flag my channel. So I'm already irritated with that. Like, don't make it worse. Because keep in mind, I am a witch. I'm a shamanic witch. Okay. Okay. So what black people need to focus on, and what I want to say to black people that have good sense, that ain't gave up on life, because the people that are in that group have essentially given up on life. They hate themselves as black people. If you have self-love and you're gonna rise above all of that and survive, hardly any of those people in that black sector are going to survive. They're not. They're not going to survive a lot of the stuff that's coming up. Okay. It's just not going to happen for them. Okay. It's not. And they're trying to drag as many people down as possible, is what they're doing. And attacking people's loved ones. And you know what I'm saying? And to the normal people out there, whether or not you're black or white, I think it's important for you to focus on what needs to be done spiritually to make sure that those things don't affect you. Just like when I was talking to you guys about the war with the cartels and stuff, like, as a shaman, it's very difficult to explain. But what I can tell you is that those people live in the reality that they live in. What is reality for them doesn't have to be the same reality for you. It's very difficult for people to understand that and to grasp a hold of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I told you that the Biden administration did not necessarily have to affect your finances? What if I told you that? People are going to naturally have lowered expectations and negativity. But there's a lot of people, not just white folk. I like saying it like that. There's a lot of people, not just white people, that did not suffer any financial losses while Biden was president. And I'm not talking about just famous people. I'm not talking about just people that, already have a lot of money. I'm talking about people out here in this world, and it's more than likely because they were not wasting time on BS and being focused on crud all the time. You know what I'm saying? I had pitfalls But those pitfalls had, to me, they had nothing to do with Joe Biden or the Biden administration. It had everything to do with a landlord. Well, they say that the president is protecting the landlords, but I could take that landlord to court just like anybody else. But then, of course, here comes certain people, Black people. Oh, you're just dusty. You're just this, you're just that, because they have a lowered opinion of one another. And I don't listen to stuff like that. Okay. Whereas if that person heard that a white person was having issues with their landlord like that, they would be very sympathetic. But when they're dealing with another Black person, they don't give a damn. They just want to judge you and make a mockery of you. It's pathetic, And so be above the fray. And that is the fray. They're not keeping it real. They're not speaking real talk. They're just being extremely negative, and they're too, apparently. Here's the thing. I don't waste time arguing with people that don't understand that you're cursing yourself by being negative towards other person and trying to speak curses on people. You end up cursing yourself. You spend all day and night just hating on somebody, harassing somebody, thinking that you're doing something special. And in reality, you're just cursing yourself. That's a fact. Okay. You're in that energy. You're going to essentially, what you're doing is you're building up your karma as this big karmic bubble for you to have hatred, jealousy, envy, problems, visceral towards a person. And you just keep telling that person, oh, you're going to fail. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're not going to have anything. Guess what? You're building up that karma for yourself, because why even have that conversation? You should be speaking about prosperity and abundance. Why are you double talking? That's slowing you down. That's why so many people haven't accomplished anything. Why would you spend any part of your day denigrating somebody? That's totally preposterous. It makes no sense to me. If you're going to manifest things that are good for you in life, like, for example, today is Thursday. Today is a day of abundance. Why, even though you think you're hurting somebody else, why would you be trying to downgrade someone else? You're just downgrading yourself because you're in that energy. I'm not in that energy. I'm never in that energy. And, just on a side note, guys, as far as with the gang stalking, gang stalkers are typically in a reality of drugs and prostitution and pimping and trafficking. And they're not in control or have any power. Their power has been taken away from them. That energy as a collective can be devastating. And so we actually have what it takes over here to overcome that. And it's nothing that they can do about it, except for what? What are you going to do? Are you going to try to murder somebody? And you guys already know what it is. Some of these people out here, they are so dead set and focused on causing losses for you or trying to create losses for you. But what are they doing? They're sitting around doing nothing. Doing absolutely nothing with their lives, not even at all making an effort. Black people have not learned, these types of Black people, not all Black people, these types of Black people have not learned that you don't have to downgrade and degrade another person. They have not learned that. at all. Still on January the 23rd of 2025. So, and this energy that they're putting out into the universe is probably having a negative effect on Black people as a collective. That's why I don't think of myself as a collective with Black people. I'm an individual. The only people that I have in my collective are the people that I deal with, my family, the family that I choose to be associated with. Otherwise, I'm not included in Black people as a whole, because if you do that, you're in trouble. Unfortunately, a majority of Blacks are either extremely in a really poor economic place, poor mental health, physical health, or just in a state of, I want to get over on the next person. I'm going to, and they end up screwing themselves in the long run. So, and there's some Black people, like, for example, myself, I run a straight business. I don't fuck over people. I never have had to. And you know what? I had success at doing it that way, at doing it the straight way. And, there's many, many people that don't understand that. They seem to think that you have to step on somebody else to get somewhere. In the meantime, the people that are getting somewhere, the way that they're getting there is by merit. They're getting there by creating the inventions, by, creating technology or inventing things. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're getting there. They're not getting there by, that's just like saying, look at the P. Diddy situation. It's very, very sad that he felt like he had to murder Tupac or have Tupac murdered just to get somewhere. And you know where it got him? It got him in federal prison. Black people that are out here in the free world have not learned that lesson. How are you any different? When you try to create poverty and suffering for a Black male or a woman or a child, you're no different than Sean Combs. You're no different. You're a scavenger. You are not understanding that you don't have to do it that way. But they don't listen because they're zombies in their own zombie world. So, they're not Barbies in a Barbie world. They're zombies in a zombie world. Now, if you have a situation to where you have confirmed enemies, these are not enemies that you've imagined. These are enemies that either have made themselves known as enemies by their communication with you or by taking disgusting actions towards you. Then at that point, then that would be okay for you to be in defensive mode so that you can defend yourself. But you're not the same as that person. If you're a person that is working or either running your business and you are supporting your family, you have plans into place, and these people just come up to you and they're like, oh, we're going to ruin your plans and we're going to violate your human and civil rights and tell you that you can't be in social media. And so we're going to do a smear campaign against you and try to learn witchcraft so that we can attack you. Where do those people think they're going to end up? If people are doing that to you, and even if it's a group of them, no matter how large that group is, you still have the leg up on that group of people. That's a fact. Because, for you to have a group of people that can't put their heads together enough to do something great with themselves, no, instead they stay codependently attacking you and trying to take from you, then those people are not even as intelligent as you are. And those people are, in fact, bad for the economy. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm curious as to what else Trump is going to be out here doing. Because I'm definitely paying attention, halfway attention to the political stuff, the stuff that I, feel that I need to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like speaking on that because there are a lot of Black people that are going to waste years and years and years and years complaining and whining and doing this and doing that. What good is that going to do you by whining and complaining? First of all, you're not taking any action to change it. You're not petitioning the White House to change it. So again, going around doing that doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm not ever there at those meetings, because what I would rather do is I would rather put my head together and figure out how I'm going to bring in $1 million is what I'm going to be doing, so that I don't have to worry about that. But see, you have a lot of people that are not there yet, or they never will be there. So they rather go out in social media unemployed, telling business owners that they need to get a job. You catch my drift? It's very bizarre. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Seems like a lot of these people have embraced hypocrisy. Whatever. Hypocrisy has no power over me. Okay? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Okay? So if you are listening to me, then most of y'all that are in positions that you don't like, or in realities that you don't like, the reason why you're in those positions is spiritually. That's how you got there. Spirit affects your physical reality. It does. It's not any kind of disconnect. It's all connected together. Okay, so what's happening spiritually is going to affect you being able to get a job. It's going to affect the success of any small business that you start. It's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your relationships. You know what I'm saying? And your social status is going to affect that. So you have to start looking at that. And I've been trying to find a way to come on here and break the news to you guys. I've got breaking news about my company that I'm going to be talking to you guys about, but I can tell you that, not ever will anybody be able to come to me and get a cleanse for $200. I'm not doing it anymore. And it's because right now we're down to the wire, and many of you guys that are seeking spiritual work right now at this moment, a lot of you guys are in what I call, for lack of better words, the shits. Okay. So it involves a lot of work. However, there are going to be options that can be broken down, but like a lot of you guys that are being subjugated, mind, body, and spirit, dominated, controlled in that environment to the point where you can't push forward, there's a lot of work that is required. And I am not going to be doing that work for cheap. I'm not going to do it. And then also we're expanding. My fertility services are going to be getting expanded heavily. And that is something that Spirit is doing. That is something that the moon is doing. Neptune is doing. Venus is doing it. So it's not anything that anybody is going to be able to control. Okay. So, and that's something that, I mean, you're not God, and you can't say that you speak for God. I think that there's been a lot of people trying to speak for God that just need to sit down and have several seats. Don't y'all agree? Yeah. There's been people claiming that they're speaking for God, but that don't sound like God to me at all. That sounds like something else that might be an enemy of human inhabitants of this planet. Okay, just saying. Okay. So anywho, I hope that this helps somebody. Make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up because it definitely helps people find this video. I think that this video is going to be of extreme comfort and empowerment to people that get what I'm saying. People that are just going to disagree with everything just because they like, oh, I hate Jamila, hate Jamila. Hey, that ain't my problem. And that shouldn't be nobody else's problem. And you're very selfish to try to silence any of my messages. You're disgusting for trying to keep me from the rest of the world because of your problem. For that, you're going to have to deal with it. Okay, because there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. There's someone out there that needs to have some encouragement. There's someone out there that, especially if it's a Black person, that doesn't need to feel like, oh God, they hate us. And listen, you cannot judge your life based upon one group in social media, and you can't judge your entire life based upon what people are saying. You can't base your life based upon that. You can't do that. And that's why I keep telling people to stop with the religion. Stop. And people are just like, they don't want to listen. You know what? In the Bible, Black people are cursed. It says it. It's not a mistake. It's not that anybody is mistaking it. It says that. Literally, it says that. So then why would you do that? So somebody might need to hear this to have some kind of hope, and it's okay for you to live your life. Are they God? No. Does God really discriminate against you based upon your race? Of any race? White, Black, brown, purple, orange, pink? Well, I hate when people say that. I'm gonna quit saying that. Black, white, some people are orange, red, pink, mauve. The answer is absolutely not. That's called human error. Stop throwing your life away based upon that. So I'm not only speaking to my children, but I'm speaking to my godchildren, and I'm speaking to people that need to hear this, because the way they try to make it seem is that you're Black and you're worthless and nobody cares about you. Well, you know what? I'm saying this to Black people. If nobody has told you that they love you today, I do. And then also to white folks, because there's some white people that feel that way. They do. You're not the only one that feels that way. Okay. Black people aren't. So just, I hate to say this, love and light to you guys. And, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Okay. All right, guys, y'all have a happy Thursday. Today is my birthday. It's my birthday. We're going to party like it's not my actual date of birth, but I was born on a Thursday. So, yeah. And anyway, I got to go. How much is my phone charge? Because I'm going to be recording some videos in a few minutes, but I got some stuff I got to do. And so, all right, I said it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.